Hey there, I'm Daniel, and this is actually the end of my last tutorial in the series of CSS selectors. Um, I wanted to quickly explain this last selector because this is used quite a lot in production. Now, the star will signify that this bar baz value is present anywhere inside this kind of this attribute. So I'm going to quickly show you an example of where this might be useful, and then you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's quickly clear out these divs because we're not going to need these makeshift random attributes. In fact, I'm lazy. So let's create 6 divs. Oops. And I am actually going to go ahead and add the class to one of these. Let's say this one will get sources. What this is actually not going to do anything to them, and I realize that. So just to simulate production, or just to simulate any regular website, let's see, this is kind of taking up like um like it's pretty much a little bit like my own framework that I have over at famously.com, which I've created. So let's say this is my class of footer. Okay, not footer. Okay, so let's see, we have all these divs. Now what we can do is, okay, let's imagine we want these to be kind of acting like modifiers. So our sol 6s will be headers, but our footer, our footer will, we won't care how much this spans, so we're not giving it a extra, let's imagine that sol 6 will make it span half of the page, and these ones are all 1/3 of the page. Okay, so let's check out what we can do with this special attribute selector inside it. So say div class, and then here we're going to use the star, and then let's say sol. Okay, so that means column is somewhere inside here. Now here you can actually use brackets if you want. If that makes you feel comfortable, you can do that, but it's not completely necessary. And in this case, we're going to use hot pink. And you'll notice that everything that has the class of sol something, notice sol's here, sol's here. Now sol is at the beginning, it's separated by a dash, whatever. Everything that has, in general, the word COL inside it will get this hot pink background. Now, of course, this is not what you use it for, but let's imagine that, you want everything to have certain specific values, you want to show something off or whatever. This can become very useful, especially if you have general formatting, which applies to everything in your document. Okay, I'm going to show you one more selector, and this is something that I've missed because it's, let's be honest, it's not really used that much. But let's imagine we have add some divs. Oops. So we're going to add some divs here, and div. Even going to add the class, just regular divs, and inside this div, I'm going to have a h1 of heading 1. And you'll notice it coming together nicely. Whoops, not div h1. Okay, and then oops, say instead of the h1, we'll say paragraph slash paragraph, paragraph, la 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 la. Let's make it, have some body to it. Okay, so let's actually multiply this text. Okay, now you'll see that this is okay. Actually, I'm going to hide the overflow. Scroll, make it scroll. Now you can see that this, you can scroll inside this div. Okay, I'm not liking that, so just the height will be removed. Now this will expand now, and I'm also going to add. Sorry, I'm a freak with 1M. Okay, cool stuff. Now, what you'll see here is that these are all residing inside this div. And that's pretty cool. If you remember, we've talked about selectors such as p plus p, and then we'll say color teal, and that will select every single p that is followed by a p. Okay, so let's say what happens when you say h1 plus p. Now we'll see that only this paragraph gets selected because it's the only paragraph that is directly after an h1. Now there's one more selector that we can use in this case, which is this one. And what that will do is this wave will allow us to select all 4 of these paragraphs. Now, I know this is the same as if we've had a paragraph like this, but it's not quite the same, because let's check it out. What happens if we copy this over and place it above the heading? Okay, so now we have, a longer document. We have a heading 1, and we'll say h1. Okay, so now you'll see that only these ones will be selected. Now what this selector does is it selects everything that is inside this parent. So inside this div, it doesn't go anywhere outside of the document. We can make this more specific by saying div, but that is not necessarily right now because we have nothing else right now on this document. So inside of this, everything that is a paragraph and is somewhere after an h1 gets this value. Okay, so imagine we'd have some h2s and paragraphs. These paragraphs, ever since we've had this h1, will get that value, and even if it's an h3, value will prevail, because this doesn't get the value because it's an h3, but because of these, because they are paragraphs and they are following an h1 somewhere, they could be separated, but they are somewhat after, they all get this color of teal. Now, okay, let's check out a way that we can use this. So I'm going to just copy this one over. Let's imagine we actually have a sensible, proper document in this case. So with, subheadings and the main heading, and we want the users to know that the main paragraph should be black. Okay, this is the introduction paragraph, but everything that comes after the first heading will be teal because it's the secondary and third paragraph and whatever. So everything that comes after a certain point will get the colors. Okay, so this has been kind of a follow-up to my previous videos. If you're not seeing the series yet, go ahead and check that out on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, I hope I see you in the next one, and see you later.